Here's what people all over Middle Georgia are saying about Clements and Keen Insurance.
My wife had a serious fall and had to have surgery. And when we went to the surgeon in Macon, they wanted to know everything. And since we didn't have a card, they were able to get a hold of the staff here. The staff here took care of everything. And the doctor's business manager called and said, "Mr. White, you do not owe us anything."
Just one more reason to choose Clements and Keen Insurance.
My husband and I have been clients of Clements and Keen Insurance for quite a few years. We've always been happy. We have our health and life insurance with them. We've always been extremely happy with the service. Anytime we call the office, they're always willing to help, and they're always very nice. I would recommend to anybody that they talk to Clements and Keen about their insurance.
Everybody in this office has been just as helpful as they possibly could be. So I'm well pleased with what Mr. Clements did for us. And I appreciate what they did.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special show today. I'm here with Mr. Marcus Clements of Clements and Keen Insurance, and with all the changes in healthcare insurance of late and enrollment dates and problems with this, that, and the other, we thought we'd just do a show and invite Mr. Clements in today and also Mr. Keen in today to be able to discuss a little bit about the Affordable Health Care Act. And Marcus, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
I'm glad to be here.
You've been writing insurance a long time.
Just 47 years.
47 years. And experience counts. It really does, no matter what you're doing. If you're pumping gas, selling insurance, running a TV station, it pays off for insurance because you've been there, you've done that, you understand things. But with the Affordable Health Care Act coming along, you guys really had to delve in and learn a new product, didn't you?
Yes, and it's been a very extensive learning process. At this point, we think we're very familiar with the law, and we're very familiar with what's available on the insurance side. So we're ready to go with the first enrollment after the initial enrollment earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. And so the initial enrollment came and went, and a large percentage of Georgians have not taken advantage of the Affordable Health Care Act.
That's correct. Probably a majority of Georgians have not applied, have not seen if they qualify for a subsidy. Mm-hmm. We're expecting many more to come in this year and see what's available.
And specifically now, you can help with any type of insurance, but you're well versed for senior adults.
I guess that's because I'm the old guy at our agency. But I do most of the senior products, which is Medicare supplements, Part D prescription drug plans, Medicare Advantage plans, final expense life insurance. I do most of that, and I've spent a lot of years preparing to do that.
Yeah, and although most of us are what we might say tech savvy, we can log on to a computer, get onto a website, but story after story after story has come about into the limelight, and so many behind the scenes of people trying to log on, trying to go through the process and either getting locked out or not purchasing what they thought they purchased. And there's a huge advantage of coming in, sitting down, and going through it with you, Marcus.
Absolutely. I've had several seniors in my office who've actually given up after spending an hour or 2 hours on the computer, an hour on the phone. I've had them in tears trying to find what's available. We're local. We're here after we make the sale. We're familiar with the law. We know what's available from the insurance carriers. Many products that the insurance carriers have may not be available in Lawrence County. There may be plans available in this area that's not available in the rest of the state. You need to deal with someone that knows what's available, knows the law, and that's available to you with a few hours' notice.
Yeah, and knowing the national information as well as the local information, what applies to you and me here, is huge.
That's important. State insurance commissioners have always controlled the sale of life insurance and health insurance in the state. for the first time with the Affordable Care Act, the control is transferred to the federal government. And of course, when the law was passed, everything we write, all the coverages, has to meet a federal standard now. And it's very complicated, and it's been a nightmare. However, we're through the initial stage, and we're better prepared this year than we were at the initial enrollment to help our clients.
Sure. All right, and you look at also a huge advantage to me. There have been a lot of problems with any type of appeal that people have in trying to do that online, and the process of that when you can come to a local person.
It's next to impossible to do an appeal online. Starting last October 1st, just the initial process, there were so many delays and computer crashes until actually the initial enrollment period expired, with some never getting to enroll because they never could. It's an impossible task. It happens. A lot of people did enroll, by themselves on the computer. But we can make a long, dreadful process. We can reduce that to an hour. And when the person leaves, they know what they've done, and they know what coverage is available. And we do that. We do that with no fee to the client. Of course, if we're able to write their insurance coverage, we are paid by the insurance company. But they just don't have to go through all this process when we're available to help them. And we're just a phone call away.
Okay. For seniors, what type of prescription plans are available? How does that play into it? How can you help with that?
Okay, October 15th opened the enrollment period for Medicare prescription drug plans, which is Part D of Medicare. It's also open enrollment for Medicare Advantage plans. That enrollment period runs from October 15th through December the 7th. Now, that's not to be confused with the open enrollment for the Affordable Health Care Act, or Obamacare. But starting October 15th through December 7th is open enrollment for Medicare Part D drug plans and Advantage plans. This means if someone is on Medicare and have not enrolled in a prescription drug plan or an Advantage plan, they have a guaranteed right to do that during this open enrollment period.
Okay.
If they already have a plan, during open enrollment, they can change plans, change carriers, drop out of the plan. Any change that they want to make must be made within this period.
So in other words, it's an excellent time to research, to delve into it, get help from you, and possibly get a better plan.
Absolutely. Those on the plan should look at it every year.
Right.
Now, it can happen on the computer. You can try to compare plans, but we reduce all that to actually a few minutes. We can compare what you already have. We've had people in our office already. There may be $40 to $50 a month difference in the premium.
Wow. Just
changing plan to plan or carrier to carrier. So it's an annual thing. If a senior is not available, to come in, a caregiver or a child or someone responsible can come in. We can give them the information to help their parents or their relatives make the right decision.
Now, that's excellent. On top of that, you think about learning about me as an individual. I get to sit down and tell you my scenario, my extenuating circumstances, what all plays into my life so that you're able to compassionately help me. You can't get that online.
No, you can't do it. Seniors, of course, take more prescription medication than those that are not seniors. You may have a client that's on a lot of medications. You may have some that's on virtually no medications. Well, you fit the plan to their needs.
Sure.
They may not need to buy the most expensive plan. The premiums for the prescription drug plans, they range from $15 a month to $100 a month. Well, you may not need to pay $100 a month. The $15 a month might take care of your situation. And if you find out you made the wrong decision, next enrollment period you can change. So every plan needs to be suited to the person. It's not a cookie cutter type situation. And that is impossible. if you're trying to do it online.
Yeah. What is,
in my opinion?
what is a Medicare supplement or a Medigap?
Okay, good question. Medicare supplement, commonly called Medigaps, they supplement Medicare, Part A and B of Medicare, and they pay the medical expenses that Medicare does not pay. If you're on Medicare, you go in the hospital, there's a deductible. If you go to the doctor, there's co-insurance. You typically pay 20% of your out-of-hospital expenses. A Medicare supplement or Medigap fills in the gap and pays those medical expenses that Medicare does not pay. Now, Medicare supplement policies, they do not pay prescription drugs. That's why you need to talk about Part D or prescription drug coverage in addition to the Medicare supplement. Also, Medicare Advantage plans, and this can be confusing. A Medicare Advantage plan combines the Medicare supplement and the prescription drug coverage all in one contract, so you don't have separate contracts.
Okay.
And there's reasons to buy an Advantage plan. There's reasons that you may not want to buy an Advantage plan. Mm-hmm. Again, you have to fit it to the needs of your customer, but the supplement plans, there's Advantage plans, and then there's standalone prescription drug plans. But it's more expensive, a supplement plan maybe than an Advantage plan, but it can be better coverage. And for the customer that wants no out-of-pocket expense, then they need to go to the Medicare supplement policies, which, of course, we provide.
And Marcus, do you offer one insurance company for people to choose from? What do you have to offer when people come in the door to you?
We have a variety of companies. We are an independent agency. We do not work for any one insurance company. Any insurance company that's licensed to do business in the state of Georgia, we can write insurance through them. Mm-hmm. We have various companies for the prescription drug coverage, for the Medicare Advantage, for the Part D prescription drug coverage. If an individual sees a plan on TV or on the computer or regardless of the company, in all probability, we represent that company. Mm-hmm. It costs no more to buy it locally. If you buy from XYZ company on the computer or on the phone, and you come to see us, same insurance company, the premium is exactly the same. Mm-hmm. You don't pay one dime more for local service. But yes, we represent all the major players, those that have the best ratings. We represent them and have for many years.
So you can get local service, ladies and gentlemen, one-on-one, face-to-face. You can, after you leave, if you have a question, if something comes to mind, you can pick up the phone, call back, talk to Marcus, talk to Darren, talk to their staff, and get that question answered. You can mull it over. You can call back the next day. Anytime you have questions, anytime you need help, for no additional money. It's what they call a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming in and speaking with us. We want to have Darren Keen to join us in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, so you stay tuned.
Ron, if I might mention some of the companies that we represent.
Yes, sir.
These are familiar names: Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Humana. Humana is making a big presence now in Lawrence County. We've been licensed with Humana for years. We represent them. United Healthcare, a big player in the health insurance market, we represent them. We represent Aetna in this area. We represent Assurant, a time insurance company. If they're the big players in the health insurance market, we are licensed and represent them in Lawrence County and can furnish anything that someone might see on TV or on the computer at the same premium rate that they could buy it anywhere else.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for the information. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. More on the Affordable Health Care Act that'll benefit you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back. We're talking today about the Affordable Health Care Act on a lot of people's minds still, and now we have Darren Keen with us of Clements and Keen. Welcome, Darren.
Hey, Ron. It's good to be here this morning.
Well, I'm glad to have you, and I know everyone's glad to learn the information. And we've talked with Marcus about how the Affordable Health Care Act affects senior adults, but I really want to look at how it affects families, younger people, a mother with 2 children, a family with 2 or 3 children, with the man and wife working, the average incomes of us here in Lawrence County and surrounding counties, and maybe individuals, just a single.
Sure.
So if we could look at that, maybe what the income ranges and benefits for a single person.
Sure, absolutely. The way it works is getting help paying your premium is called a tax credit. And the way it works is it's based strictly on your income, not based on assets or money in the bank, but it's strictly based on your annual salary. Okay? And just say it's a single person. If they have an income, a minimum about $11,500, no more than about $45,000, then they would qualify for a tax credit to pay part of their premium.
So up to $45,000 for an individual.
That's correct.
They'll get some type of tax credit.
That's correct.
Wow.
And even a lot of people, families, a single mother, a single parent with 2 children, that income would be up around $78,000 would be the top end. So it's very liberal, and we've helped literally hundreds of clients obtain help paying their premium, and a lot of them have gotten a very generous tax credit.
Okay, if they have existing insurance, should they shop it?
Absolutely. The open enrollment for healthcare reform is going to open November 15th, and we'll be helping people until February 15th. And if they have a plan, then they do need to shop it. Last year, there were 2 carriers on the exchange that you could get a tax credit. This year, there'll be 5.
Wow.
So a lot more choice, a lot more information to process. We're appointed with all 5 of those carriers, and we can help you make that decision. And it's not, it's not a very lengthy process. You and I were talking earlier. How long does it take? Probably the whole process is less than an hour, and that's processing information, helping you get in. We have people come in with the baby in the bassinet or the car seat, what they call it now. And the baby will be there, and we can do it on site, person to person.
Yeah. And by the time you log on and read everything online, you're probably an hour into that. And
Absolutely. And typically, a lot of times people will come in after they've done that. And then they realize, I just reached a point I didn't know what to do.
Right. And that's scary.
That's
It really is scary as an individual. You're on it, and you don't have that personal touch, that eyeball to eyeball, that bouncing questions back and forth. And, oh, I missed this. Oh, how you going to go back then?
Exactly.
On a computer. So the advantage is huge in people people you trust here in our community.
Right.
But we talked about the companies. Now, reiterate from what Marcus said now, the companies that you have to choose from.
All right, we still have Humana and Blue Cross. They'll still be in the market for tax credit. But in addition to that, we'll have Assurant, Aetna, and United Healthcare. But we also represent several other companies, as Marcus said, in the Medicare market for seniors. So we're not tied to any company. And I always like to tell people, I guess if you're looking for a slogan, our slogan would be, we're not carrier-driven, we're not commission-driven, we're customer-driven.
Wonderful. We encourage you to take advantage of this. Stop by, call Clements and Keen, line up an appointment. You can speak to them over the phone, and you'll see the way they deal with people is the right approach, and it's a personable approach. So we also want to look at what the difference is from the first open window and first opportunity to register and this window of time. Is there much difference, or is it just another opportunity for us to take advantage of health insurance?
That's a very good question. There are some differences. Number one, the tax credit part of it has to be reevaluated each year. So, for example, if you change jobs during the year, that might mean you're getting a higher salary. If you got a promotion, then we have to evaluate that and plug in your numbers into the tax credit formula and see how that affects the amount of tax credit you get. And that is very hard to do online or over the phone with the government. The tax credit portion comes through the marketplace, and that is the federal government, like Marcus mentioned. You got 2 things that come together. You have the federal government, which is the marketplace. Some people call it the exchange. And then you've got the insurance carrier, whichever one that you choose to do business with. And they have to come together. And we're kind of in the middle to bring those together for the client.
So it speeds up the process a lot. It makes it much easier for you, ladies and gentlemen. And you can get the health care insurance that you need. Now, there are repercussions for not getting health care insurance.
That's correct, and that's going to be something very new when we're all doing our tax return next year. That'll be due April the 15th of next year. It'll be the tax return for this year. If we did not have health insurance for 9 months out of the year, then the penalty will be $95 or 1% of your salary. Most people have that $95 stuck in their head, and that's not much.
Yeah.
But if your salary is $30,000, then it's going to be $300.
Right. Right.
Next year, it's going to be more. You know, it's going to go up to $395 or 2% of your salary. And then the third year is when they really put the bite in it. It's $695 and 3% or 3% of your salary.
You talking about gross numbers here now?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, that's right. So they're going to put a bite in it, and I expect when people really see the penalty on next year, the tax return that they file next year, then they'll understand what we've been talking about.
Yeah, and that's a motivating factor. So
is.
it's kind of like pay me now, pay me later.
Yes, sir.
And you may be paying more later than
Yes,
you'd be paying now because, again, you're looking at all factors. You're looking at deductions. You're looking at what you actually bring home.
That's correct.
As far as what you're going to pay for a health care plan. But when you get to the other end of the spectrum and you say, I think it's going to be 95, and it turns out to be 1% of
That's
your
correct.
gross, there could be a lot of difference there.
That's correct.
Better to be informed, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. There'll be very few people paying the 95. It'll be more than that.
Sure. That's the way it's designed.
Right.
You know, we have to get health care insurance, ladies and gentlemen. All of us have to get health care insurance. Some people, and a majority of people, probably won't have to pay that much. Some people are going to have to pay for it, but it's the worst of two evils if you don't go to the doctor. If you don't go to the doctor at all. If you have to go to the doctor, if you periodically are going to go, and as we age, we're going to have to,
Absolutely.
then you're going to benefit
Sure.
from having the insurance.
That's right.
You've helped a lot of people already, haven't you?
We have. I just like to tell people we've been blessed. You know, everybody says, well, how's it going? Because the health care reform's been a talking point since 2008.
Right.
You know, and everybody says, how's it going? You know, are y'all okay? You know, I'm very blessed. And the reason we're blessed is people Dublin and Lawrence County continue to do business with us. They continue to ask us for help. And they've been very good to us. You know, we haven't lost any customers. We've gained several clients, built several relationships from the health care reform. You know, so we're very blessed and we're doing well, and it's just the people of Dublin and Lawrence County support us very good.
Well, you've always supported the community, Darren.
Yes, sir. We try to do everything we can local. You know, here's another slogan. I can't take credit for this one, but somebody said, you know, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy local, and it's about the same. And I believe that because we all depend on each other. You know, we get a lot more done when we work together. And local is local. You know, the cars I drive, the tag on it's from a dealer in Dublin.
Right.
You know, we buy our groceries here. The doctors that we see, which is very important, the medical community here in Dublin is top notch. And we have a great relationship with them. They treat me, they treat my children. And so I'm very proud to be in Dublin.
Now, on top of that, people look and they say, I want to keep my doctor. I want to deal with somebody local. If I go on exchange, what's going to happen? Am I going to have to go to Macon to a doctor or wherever, anywhere around? Can I choose or can I keep my same physicians? How does that play?
That's a very important piece of the puzzle. Everybody's heard of Blue Cross Blue Shield, and a lot of people thought this year, in 2014, if they had Blue Cross, it was the same Blue Cross. Well, on the individual market, it changed, and the network here in Dublin, the list of doctors and hospitals and health providers that you could go to, it shrank by 90% with Blue Cross. So therefore, we really needed another carrier to provide coverage for our clients that had a very stable list of doctors, and we call that a provider network. Okay? So we changed to another carrier. We were able to advise the clients. They tell us the doctors they want. You know, we don't just say, okay, you need this plan and this plan. We don't limit people to one plan. we ask them, what doctors are you seeing? We research it. A lot of times we'll just call the doctor's office. We do have a relationship with most of the insurance clerks and billing specialists at these doctors' offices.
That's huge.
And we can call them, and they'll say, yes, we take this carrier, we don't take that carrier. And we help the client make that decision based on that.
I don't know where else you can get that,
Yeah,
Darren.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it would behoove you to give a call to Clements and Keen and get all the details, find out all the information, go through your own individual scenario, what you need personally, whether you're a single, younger person, whether you're middle-aged with children, whether you're a senior adult who wants to look at the options that are available and see how much money you can possibly save just by speaking to someone locally. I know they can call you at the office, business hours Monday through Friday.
Yes, sir.
You got answering service beyond that if they,
Yes, we do.
If they
We
want to
do.
call any other time.
Yeah, and one thing, our staff is very important. It's not just me and Marcus.
Sure.
And we have Lori Smith, we have Kit Smith, and we have Erica Morgan. Very knowledgeable at what they do. And a lot of people call in. Sometimes they don't want to talk to me. They may want to talk to Lori, which is very important.
Yeah.
Our clients love our staff, and we definitely love our clients. A lot of times we'll sit down with a client who may have a claim or had a problem getting something paid by the insurance company, and they think that it should be paid differently. And we look at it one-on-one with them, and we say, yeah, you got some money coming to you that the insurance carrier paid this wrong. And just last week, I had a client come in my office, and we were able to get the carrier to pay $1,100. That the claim was paid wrong. And just one call, the relationship that we had with the doctor and the insurance carrier, and we recovered that $1,100 for him right there in my office.
Wow. You have somebody to stand behind you to help you. It's service after the sale. And would you buy a vehicle from someone that wouldn't service it, just went away, hard to get in touch with, only could contact them online? I don't think so. Would you buy a home from someone that you didn't have any recourse? No, you wouldn't. Why would you depend on health care insurance that you didn't have someone you could turn to in the local market? And that's Clements and Keen, ladies and gentlemen. We hope we've helped educate you today a little bit more. Improve the information that we can provide for you with the Affordable Health Care Act, with health insurance that you need for you and your family, and you must have, or you'll pay repercussions. We all will. So get in touch with Clements and Keen. We appreciate the information, appreciate what you do in the community there.
Thank you, Ron. We appreciate what TV 35 does as well.
All right. Thank you for joining us.